Vicki, thank you so much for coming in to see me and being my guest today.
Thank you, Neil. Thank you for having me.
I feel like we've done this before, but anyway, don't set me off. You know, I'm fascinated. You have an incredible career. You've worked very hard, though. I can see that.
Yeah.
You know, you've kept yourself active and busy. But when you first started out, did you ever think it would be a career that, you know, you would sustain? Because when you started, it was very much like a very glamorous era for women. You know, you are a good-looking lady, and you know, but you know what I mean. You started. It must be harder to be taken seriously, I think, when you're pretty as an actress, because you get cast in these Bird roles and Benny Hills, and you know what I mean, things like that. So when you were doing it, did you think, oh, I might last till I'm like 25, 30, and then I'll?
I never really analysed it. I think I've always been the eternal optimist, and I just thought, oh, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I think I consciously worked at being busy.
Yeah.
And there was that thing when we were first going out for auditions, that you could say you're too pretty.
Yeah.
You know, that was so. And if you were pretty, you weren't taken as a serious actress. You know, and I think I'm a good actress, and it's really that was frustrating.
Yeah.
I think that was frustrating to be taken seriously, and it's only now in later years where I've done some fantastic roles that people go, oh my goodness, wasn't she good? Shock. But it was hard at that time, and I think that, and I just wanted to keep working, and I think one of my first jobs was on a Softly, and I went in to read for this part, and he went, you read so well, you are completely wrong for this, but I'm going to give it to you. And it was to play a skinhead who was the girlfriend of a chap that used to go around beating up people. And so they put a wig on me and a suit. So one of my first roles, I sort of became this like little thuggish character, and I loved it.
A bit annoying though when you're telling all your friends, no, that's me.
No, that is me. In fact, I got a copy recently. They're really hard to get hold of, yes.
Yeah, and you say that Softly, but Softly was a huge program. I mean, we're talking then millions of people, so it's a massive break in a way.
It was a police program.
Yeah. But it was, I mean, you know, we forget about that now because, you know, when you think about TV then, 3 channels, people did sit down and watch these programs at 9 o'clock at night, and, you know, so that was a big break for you.
I did 3 of those, and that was unheard of. And there's 3 lead characters, so that was really nice. And Dixon of Dock Green was my first.
And what was that? Because I mean, that again, a big iconic show. So you go home to your mum and dad.
Yeah.
They must have been thrilled because I mean, it was massive. It's hard to imagine to people now.
I suppose it was, you know, but I didn't really think. And my sister was at the school as well, and she was doing really well. She was doing films and stuff. So we sort of just really took it in our stride.
Well, mum and dad theatrical or?
Mummy went to Lambda, and her claim to fame was she was in The Glass Mountain.
Oh, right.
So she played the bride in The Glass Mountain, and she worked with Terry Thomas and people like that. And then she married my dad, who my dad should have been in the business, but he wasn't. He was a fish merchant in Billingsgate. And he was from the East End and Mummy was from Surrey, so it was quite a nice combination.
Were they a strange mixture?
They were, but I think Daddy was, you know, he was East End boy made good. Yeah. You know, he worked.
So he probably levelled her out, and she gave him. You know,
yes, exactly.
It always works like that.
And sang a lot.
Yeah.
But Dad used to tell jokes, and Mum used to sing. So we used to sing and tell jokes. And I've got 3 sisters, so we're all quite a big personality family.
Well, you do. I think when there's a lot of you, you all want to be heard, don't you?
Yeah, so we've all vied for that.
So when you go into a drama college, I presume?
I went to Ada Foster Stage
and that was quite famous in its time, that thing. Who else was
Barbara
in there with you? So Barbara
Windsor,
was there?
Jean Simmons. Wow. Oh gosh, there's so many, and now I'm going to forget. Who was in Phantom of the Opera?
Michael Crawford?
No. Female singer, opera, went out with Tim.
Elaine Page?
Correct. She went there.
Oh, really?
I have to backtrack. Yeah, she's lovely.
Oh, right. So, but then when you got into that, did you, I suppose that was your point where you thought, well, I'm definitely going to, this is going to be my career.
Yeah.
And then, but was it quite tough in that era? Because I guess there was a lot more work then in some respects.
Yeah, you actually went, you know, you were sent for jobs.
Yeah.
Now it's really hard to get into the jobs. Yeah. But they would come to Ada Foster or Anita Foster, who was in charge then, and she would be running the agency. And, you know, they'd send you out, and you went and read for a part, and you either got it or you didn't. And I think, you know, so while you were training, you were sent out for roles. So it was at the same time, and at that time I got a West End with Dudley Moore. So I was played again Sam for
Which
a
was a
year
big,
with Dudley
big
Moore.
thing,
That played the Globe for over a year. But I had good grounding. It was really, I think it has a lot to do with fate.
Yeah.
But I did treat it as a business. You know, some people would go, oh, I'm not doing that. That's not, I can't do that. There's only 1 line, 2 lines. And I thought, well, actually, if I do that, I'm going to meet the director, the producer, and that could lead to other things. So I always went, yes.
Yeah. No, I think that's a really good attitude, Vicki, you know, because I think that it's so true. You don't know who you're going to meet on a job.
Yeah.
So you can't be snobby. You have to sort of think, well, somebody's going to see this. And you never know when it's going to resurface. I mean, you talk about, you just recently found Softly, but that's come back out on DVDs and things like that. Now, we know what it is, but there's a whole new generation discovering that.
Yes, yeah.
And then they go, oh, that's that, you
and
know.
they're good stories.
Yeah.
Really good stories.
Yeah, when you look back now, you know.
Yeah.
But as I say, I look down at your CV, you've done so many things that, I mean, you know, you've worked on so many iconic shows. One of my favourites, maybe if you can remember, you were in an episode, maybe 2 episodes of George and Mildred, which, you know, I mean, again, you know, we dismiss it now, but it was massive.
Well, it was the film that I was with.
I loved the film.
And I was the pretty girl who was in bed with the vicar, who was Slim Ramsden, I think it was his name. And he's just, and in fact, I was talking to Ray Cooney recently, and Slim taught Ray, what was it he taught him? This whoop that he uses in his farces. And I saw Slim recently, and it, you know, we had happy memories of that. And it was, and I see Brian Murphy quite a lot. Youth have passed, but I still see.
And what were they like? Did they get on as a couple? Because I thought they were brilliantly well.
Yes, I'm sure that they did, because they're nice people. Yeah, and the film was great, and people loved that.
And it's funny now, isn't it, to think, because you know we talk about films now. I know recently you were an executive producer on Run for Your Wife. Yes. And I saw that, and I loved that. I genuinely loved it. I thought it was funny. I thought you'd put together a really good modern mixed cast. You know, yeah. I mean, you just never knew it was going to pop up. Lionel Blair, you know,
as he actually said to the bishop.
I thought this was really funny, you know, because you know these weird people, and it sort of reminded me of. And I don't know if you were going for this, but it kind of reminded me of like a Carry On film into Jay's generation, because you had all these people that you instantly knew, like the Bigginses, do you know what I mean? These people, and you thought, oh yeah, I know him, but you were still engrossed in the funniness of the story. Yes. And you got like Danny Dyer, and you know. But I know you kind of it kind of got like a bad time by people. But I just thought funny's funny. Is that what we were aiming for?
You know, you're just exactly the same as me. I mean, I was executive producer on it, and I'd worked with Ray, and we decided to do the producers and everything. And I thought it was a great idea. And I thought, who's modern and who would do it? And I knew Danny, because I'd worked with Danny when I worked with Ray Winston on All in the Game, and Danny played my son in that. And
gosh,
I know. And he came along and met Ray, and Ray said he's perfect for the Taxi Driver. And then we wanted Denise Van Outen, and we couldn't get her at one time, but we tracked her down, and then she did it, and Sarah Harding. Yeah. And then, so we had that young cast, but also, because it was Ray Cooney, and Ray has worked with so many people over the years, and they all know and love him. Yeah. People wanted to be in the film. Yeah. Yeah. So it was, as he calls it, his old chums. Yeah. And I think it was a brilliant cast list. Yeah. I mean, it was like a who's who of.
That's what I mean.
Who's that? Oh my God, is that Dame Judi Dench? It can't be Dame. And it was all of that was going on. Yeah. And I think that, I mean, the critics panned it. I think, you know, they were saying it's dated, but do you know what? That's how Ray wanted it. Yeah. And it made you laugh out loud.
But I think, dare I say, in 20 years' time, when we're still 30, I think people will look at that, though, and now, you know, it's always in retrospect that people find, and I find the same, you know, when people look at, say, Stock Aitken Waterman Records, they sniggered at them then, but now we all love Jason and Kylie, but at the time they hated them. Yes. And you know what I mean? And then
I think it will. You know. I mean, everyone was trying to get it. I think it was mishandled on the selling side, I mean, in truth. But when we did the Leicester Square Theatre, the big premiere, because he wanted it,
for you,
and you had like 2,000 people, or however many it sits, and you cannot orchestrate people to laugh. Yeah. They either do or they don't. And they guffawed. There were rounds of applause. It was a fantastic. Film and night. And I think that's what they missed. I think the critics didn't get, do you know what? This is good old-fashioned comedy that makes you laugh out loud.
And as I say, fun is funny.
Funny is funny. Why do people try and say, humour is now new. I laugh at the same things my father did.
Yeah, I still laugh at Benny Hill.
I love Benny Hill. I never worked with him. I never worked with him. I love that little head. I loved him.
It's ridiculous.
And it was Bob something.
Yeah,
that was there.
Bob Thomas was it?
Yeah, Bob Thomas, I worked with him.
Yeah.
We were talking about Henry McGee, the other was lovely. And yeah, I think that, yes, funny. It's funny.
When I show some of the footage to some of the young kids that I work with, say in the studio and around, and I just say, look at that, and they laugh. You know, even things like Norman Evans over the garden wall and things, they're laughing because I'm saying, well, that's actually Mrs. Brown today is Norman Evans, you know,
or Les Dawson,
you know, Sissy and Ada.
I mean Sissy and that's why it worked, and that's why people wanted it. That's why he worked so well because, and especially if you look at who's watching television, it is the older generation. Appeal to them. I think it's important. I think it's being overlooked in some ways, and we are doing reality TV quite a lot, which is sort of cheaper. But I think it would be nice to do some really good humour. I think the other thing that's missing, what I gather is now, if you think of stand-up comedians and things, they are packing out like 2,000 seaters. And I have to analyse why, because we haven't got enough humour on TV. And therefore, all the young generation are starved of it. So they go to these big venues to see it. And I think it's a shame because...
You're spot on, actually. I exactly say the same thing to people. Because I say, well, you know, if you look at TV, there's nothing on, and they want... And it's the same when people go to a musical like a retro of Dreamboats and Petticoats. They know all the songs, so they feel comfortable. They're singing along at the end. They could be the boy and the girl in the 60s that, you know, fell in love. So you're evoking lots of memories. Yet TV goes, oh, I don't want that. I'll tell you what, we'll have somebody sat in a jungle for 10 weeks.
Well, I did do that.
I understood why you did it, because it opens up as an actress.
Absolutely.
You know, they're all acting. You know, it all comes down in the end. I have to say, touch on that. I thought you did incredible. I think you were such a game girl, Vicki. I just could not. I mean, for a woman, I think that show is very hard because. Men, you can not have a shave, look a bit grisly, and nobody cares. For a woman to be stripped of their beauty, as it were, you know what I mean?
Don't.
It's awful, isn't it? Because you get past that, I think, or am I right?
No. Worst nightmare. I went, I don't know whether I'm going to do this. And my daughter's going, oh, Mum, you've got to. It's a really good show. You've got to go, oh, I'm not sure about this. I went, and my two words, no makeup and the dunny. That's it. Everything else, I went, okay, I'll cope with that. Because I work with a lot of snakes.
Food.
Do you know what I mean? The food doesn't bother me. I mean, they were all moaning about the food, and I'm going, you'd pay $4,000 for this diet to go over to Thailand or something. Why are you moaning?
Yeah, that's true.
Why moan?
And did you lose weight?
I did. I lost over a stone, I think.
You girls, it's always a bonus.
I know, it's a bonus. Go in looking okay, going out looking drawn.
But would you recommend it for somebody else? You know, or do you think it is of an...
I loved it.
You've got kind of a go-getting attitude, but I think when you see some of them falling apart, it's like, have you never watched the show? You know what I mean? Like,
well, I do wonder. You know, this is what you put yourself up for. This is a job. Do it.
It's a job.
And then you're moaning and screaming and shouting, oh, get a life. So it was a bit like that. But I think that just some people, when they're not eating and things get, you know, they get worse. But I actually really enjoyed the fact that I did it. But I'll tell you this. I mean, the no makeup thing, so I've had those little eyelashes stuck in, you know, and I'm thinking, oh God, you know, I've got to have, you know, not look too bad. But then they all went wonky halfway through and start falling out. But we had these lights that if you had to go to the dunny, the loo, that's the toilet, in the middle of the night, you had to pick up these little lanterns and go up. Anyway, one day someone's come down and went, oh my God, look at all the charcoal on this lantern. And I went like this, charcoal. And I went and got a fern leaf and I was dipping it in the charcoal. I went, oh yes, I can have.
Oh yeah.
So you could have a little bit of dark on the thing. And then
that's a clever idea.
I know, well, I just thought, when I heard it...
I'm glad you said that. I thought that story was going to go another way.
No.
I thought somebody had missed the doggy. And then I've got this vision of you putting this, oh no, let's not go there.
But it was actually, people are cleaning their teeth with charcoal now, aren't they? It's this new fad. But it's what pencils are made of, you know, charcoal pencils. So I think that...
You touched on Les Dawson, and he was a fabulous comedian. I mean, you worked with him. What was he like? And you know...
the loveliest man ever. I mean, really, the loveliest man. He was just funny and warm and kind. Because you do work with comedians, that, you know, it's all about them,
Yeah.
you know, and that is a trait that you find sometimes. He wasn't. He was a giving comedian. He loved people. You know, he'd come up to me and go, and, you know, hello, Vicki, how are you? And I love you more than all the grains of sand. And things like, he used to say lovely things, you know. And I was friends. I met his new wife, Tracy, and when he had his daughter, you know, I was around, and he was just a lovely, warm man who was so talented. I mean, playing the piano, but pretending he couldn't.
Which is a gift.
It's a gift. It's so difficult to do.
Yeah, can barely play anyway. But yeah, I know what you mean. You'd watch that, and you waited for it. You knew it was coming.
Yes.
But you just think, oh, you know.
But he was just truly just one of the nicest people I've ever worked with, and I learned so much because when you're rehearsing with them, you're watching what they're doing. And him and Roy Barraclough, you know, you know, and all of that. And I just think that was, you know, and everyone says to me, oh, you've got really good timing, Vicki. But I think that became inherent from working with people that were amazing, like him, Two Ronnies, or all those people, I think.
I mean, again, you know, you've been lucky because you started very young, but you've been lucky to work with, you know, what we consider greats now. I mean, the Two Ronnies, as you say, they were, I think, very different to Morecambe and Wise, because Morecambe and Wise, although they both had script writers, I found that the affability of Eric and Annie was easier.
Yeah.
I think you could sense that the Two Ronnies were put together as a formation, but as a person working with them, what did you see different, you know, in the sense of it as comedians? Was it more structured?
I know, I think they really liked each other. Both of them were lovely characters, completely sort of different characters. And what happened is, I did a series with Ken Dodd. So he was doing this new series, and I was his sort of his right-hand girl or whatever. So I was right throughout the series playing different characters and things. And there was one where Ken had to sing to me, and I was in this crinoline dress, and I just had to stand and smile and listen. Anyway, Bonnie Barker saw me on it, and he went, anyone that can stand still for that long and do that and still stay with it, I want her in. Wow. So he's got me in for the Two Ronnies. And the very first, they thought, I'm sure he's thought, let's see if she's got a sense of humour, let's see if she can act this. So my first job was, I went into makeup and they put me in a Victorian newspaper boy's outfit and stuck a moustache and a little cap on me, so I looked like a boy, and hawked up and hitched up my boobs, so I had enormous cleavage, but from a distance I looked like a boy, and then they honed in. Yeah. But I think getting a dirt all over my face. And I think that they thought, well, if she can take this, she's a good egg, we'll carry on. And then I carried on working with them after that, which was...
And it goes back to what you were just saying, actually, not being snobby about roles. You know, you do this with Ken, and somebody sees you, and then you work with other legends. I mean, because Ken Dodd, I think, is a very, very clever man, a genius, actually, at comedy. And it's very rare now to see him, you know, you were lucky to get it. I mean, well, I suppose what I'm saying is, were you nervous when, because these are big names, and, you know, you're a young girl and they've been at it a long time. So some, as you say, can be very welcoming, you know, and then there's others where it's like, you laugh and take any of my laugh, you know, that type of thing. Yeah. So did you get nervous, or were you just too young and oblivious?
I think you're always sort of nervous when you're first going to work with them. But most of the people that I've worked with have been really lovely. Yeah. And I loved Ken, I loved working with him, and he's so clever. Yeah. You have to revere these people. I think that, you know, they've earned where they are, you know. Ken can, people pack to see him now.
Yeah. Oh, it's hilarious.
And he goes on for 2-3 hours, and they know they're going to get. You take sandwiches, you take an amazing. I mean, I worked on one of the shows that he'd gone from the BBC to the ITV, so he called me in to do a sketch that I'd already done. But because there was an audience and he was talking to them so much, a live audience, they overran, so they had to pull the plugs, and I don't think we didn't get around to doing my sketch on that time. But he's amazing talent, so I learnt from him, watching him, what he's doing.
I mean, I wanted to say, well, I think I first saw you on stage when Hello Hello went to the Palladium, I think it was.
Yeah, I did the second lot of Palladium, not the first lot. Yeah.
But again, as an actress, you're in this mega successful show, and it's now, it went the other way around, did it? It was big on telly, then went to stage, whereas sometimes it goes the other way first, you know. When you're on that Palladium stage, were you aware of everybody that had walked on there, and now you're making everybody laugh? And
well, it was amazing. I wanted to do the Palladium, but the first time they went to the Palladium, Paul Elliott had booked me to do panto in Birmingham at the Alexander.
You're fabulous in panto, though.
Thank you.
You are, sweetie. You're
Thank
born for panto.
I play a good baddie.
When you come on, I always love it because I always go and see you and I always love it. And somehow
you.
it's the lights that they put around you and they're hissing in the smoke and you think, if I was a child, I think I might need to be taken out.
Yeah, it's scary. It's scary. But they like me in the end.
Yeah, oh, they love you.
Yeah. You have to be horrible, but
Yeah.
make them think they can come back at you.
Yeah,
So that's
I mean, you're good in panto though. I mean, again, panto is an art that's come back. I always feel sorry for you actresses and actors who, we won't name names, but you know, like when you are in a panto with say somebody who's never done it before, but they've been in a reality show, and you can see the professionals carrying the person, do you know what I mean? And I know they've got to learn everything, but we are paying and we should be, I would think, get professionals, and they get, you know, these people. But when you just make them, you relish those moments when you come on Being Bad, don't you?
I do.
And how do you do it 3 times a day? Where's the energy
I just
from?
love it. I love the audience. I just do. And I love working. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. I enjoy whatever I'm doing. And I love the audience because I know they're going to, and sometimes the kids are vicious.
They're more cheeky now than we were.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We wouldn't dare say.
Oh, come on, I go, I'm so beautiful. Oh, yes, I am. And they go, no, you're not. Go, you ugly old cow. All of this you're getting. Shut up, peasants. And you just put them down. But they love it, as long as they know they can get away with it. But I love the audience, and I think that panto is fantastic for... It's a really difficult genre, I think, to play.
Not easy, yeah.
And you're working an audience and relating to the audience.
Yeah.
And I do think that that people underestimate how difficult it is. Well, not difficult, it's second nature to me now.
Yeah.
But what I love is it's encouraging the kids to go to theatre. And you see their little faces and they're like this. And they're believing this whole story, this whole fairy tale. And you see the parents looking at them smiling. And I think that that's magical, you know, and I think that it's lovely, and it introduces them to the theatre.
And it's a real connection because once they like you and they've seen you in something, I remember seeing people when I was a kid, and you know, Dad worked with certain people, and I remember thinking, oh, you know, Bobby Bennett and stuff. I followed him because I've seen him in the City Varieties. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, and
he
like
played
it.
buttons, and I thought I'd like to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you'd be a good buttons, actually.
I did it, sweetie. Little camp. Nobody quite bought the story, but you know. So sorry, we'll go back to you're on the Palladium and you're making this massive theatre, Howled with Laughter. I mean, what's that like then, Vicky, when you're doing that and you're thinking...
I mean, amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. I've never, ever, I mean, I wanted to do the Palladium, and we did it before at the Prince of Wales. And the first time I couldn't do the Palladium because Paul Elliott wouldn't let me out of the contract. So, but they would do it the second time. I went, I love the Palladium. It's fantastic. And it was fabulous. But the show was absolutely panned by the critics. They're like, I don't understand what it's about. La la la. I've never seen the teleseries.
Yeah.
Packed out, standing room only. We took it all over the country. We never had empty seats. It was always full. And you had all these people howling with laughter, and they just loved it. And it was just a feeling second to none because you were already over the first hurdle because they loved you.
Yeah.
They loved Hello Hello, they loved you. They knew all the characters, most of the characters.
That's what I mean, it's comfortable again, isn't it? We knew it because of TV, that's what I mean. When you go, you can sit back and it's almost like a driver where you think, I'm going to have a laugh here.
Yeah.
And you go in with the party spirit and...
I know, it was amazing. And then we used to have a couple of freezes where you're in darkness.
Yeah.
And it was really fun because I like watching, I like people watching. Yeah. And I watched the people and you'd see them and they'd all go like this and they'd all together, they'd go back. Like that, laugh, come forward, and then clap.
Yeah.
But it was like everyone did it. What is that in human nature that you do the same thing?
I think we're all inherently the same. I think if you make people feel good, and I think that's my thing with comedy. There's two things: comedy and music can change your emotions.
Yes.
And you hear a few bars of a song, you think, oh, I'm 16 again or whatever, you know what I mean? And I think comedy is great because they say about laughter's the best medicine. It really is. Because if you're fed up and you go and see somebody like yourself in panto or a play like that, I mean, you recently did, you played Marilyn Monroe, which of course was a stunning brunette, is not my first job. I thought, oh, this is going to be a little odd. But you, I'm not just saying this, were absolutely brilliant. I know you enjoyed it yourself, but when they pitched that to you and everything, did you get the concept and what was it, you know, your thoughts? Because it's a
my agent
difficult character to take on, isn't it?
Yes, so he sent me this, he said, look, I want you to go and read for this script. And I said, okay, I'll go. And I read the script and I got it. You know when you just get it straight away? I understood it, where it was coming from. And I just got on so well when I was reading it with the director and the writer. And I just felt this thing and I thought, oh, I really feel good about this. So then I was waiting and waiting and waiting. And Sandra Dickinson had gone for it as well. Yeah. Anyway, the writer rings me up and says, Vicki, we loved you. We really, really loved you. And it was so difficult, but we've gone with Sandra. So I thought, oh, sod. Okay, but I love Sandra and she's lovely.
And you were sat at home with a doll.
No. Do you know, I'm really happy if people get it, you know, and if it's a mate, then that's lovely.
I'm jesting, But it's nice though, isn't it, that, as you say, if they explain why you didn't get it, it's not so bad. I hate that now, when I'm sure you get this in TV more, where they just don't get back to you. You have no idea why.
No.
You think, well, what was that about?
But then they could say you were crap, and then you don't hear about it.
I'm sure that never happens to you, Vicki Michelle.
But then Sandra couldn't do this thing, and my agent rang up and said, look, he knows this is a liberty, but would you consider? And I said to my agent, I knew this part was mine, and I knew I was going to do it. And I said, I'm going to do it. He said, no, you don't want to. It's at the King's Theatre and it's on a Sunday, for so many weeks. And I went, no, I'm doing it. And I just loved it. It was a horrendous part to learn. Huge, never off. But she faked her death and she'd been living in Essex for 40 years and then decided to go back to America to say she's still alive. So I've got the grey wig and she talks like that, she's like, and it was just a great, and then she evolves back into Marilyn when she goes back. And so it was a great sort of part for playing so many different sort of characters within it. But I absolutely loved it. And we're talking about that now because either as a film or making it into a teleseries. Because I think it would lend itself. You saw it,
I thought it was brilliant. I mean, I didn't know what to expect. I never liked to read the thing before. I just want to go and be taken into somewhere else. Do you know what I mean? You know when people send you press release and they say, I think, don't tell me about that. Let me see if I can get it, because I think that's the key to enjoying a piece. When you came out, I thought to myself, that's actually plausible. You know what I mean? Like in a sense of, could she have disappeared? They say that about Elvis, don't they? You know that Elvis has disappeared.
He's probably still here.
Yeah, he's down the chip shop.
Selling hamburgers.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? And I thought for you as an actress that was a brilliant role because it did open up different facets, because we know you as a finely tuned comedian, as it were. And a question I want to ask you is, when did you know you were funny? You know, when did you are a bubbly personality and I can see you can do it, but when you go, as you say, and you're starting out, you're a beautiful young girl, you've got to try and convince directors and producers and casting people you're more than a face. So would you say that evolved when you got, say, the part of a vet? Would that be the point where somebody said, actually, she's very good looking, but she's pretty?
No, because I've worked with all of the two Ronnies and Les Dawes and all of those before, so they knew that I could do comedy, I could do it, and I had good timing, so I could sort of look good and do it. I think that's what they were looking for. Because on those shows they had glamorous girls. Thank God, otherwise it wouldn't have worked. You know, I'm not saying that, but but
no, but it's interesting you say that, because I believe that as well. It's very. You're a girl, to me, that celebrates being a woman. You know, you like being a sexy woman. You're a good-looking girl, as you know. And but nowadays it's about, as an actress, you're supposed to dress down and be a blank canvas, and you think, why? You know, God's given you these genes.
I can play down. You know, I played Miss Hannigan. That was a great role. She was like this, the lipstick and.
Well, panto is you're diffusing the beauty.
You know, and all of those sort of things. But I think that's lovely because you're playing a character. You know, and I think and I love playing. When people allow me to play those sort of characters, I revel in it. And to put the old grey wig on me and have really awful clothes in Marilyn, do you know what I mean? And
they were good clothes.
They were great.
Grim,
they were grim clothes.
You wouldn't be stealing those after the show, would you?
And I just thought, but it was just, I loved the character, and I think that when people give you that opportunity to play those and they see you can do it. And comedy, I think, is inherent in my family because Dad always told jokes, Mum's. I think we had a happy family, and just we're all funny. The whole family are funny. And I'm funny without realising I'm funny sometimes. You know, I'll say something, people are laughing. Oh, shouldn't have said that or something. You know, so. But I think that, and also having done so much comedy, like with Allo and all of those. Comedy becomes second nature to you. Like if you say something and I'll pick up on it, you know, because it will be a comedy line that I've got,
Yeah.
you know. So I think it just becomes second nature, I think.
It's funny, isn't it? I mean, I suppose finally we have to ask is that Hello Hello is still huge now. It gets repeated so much on UK Gold and occasionally it's shot on BBC Two and stuff like that. And it's a bit like it ain't our Hotman. People say it's not PC. I can't see what's offensive. I don't know if it's our age group, but I can't see what's offensive. When I watch Taint Half Hotman, the drag queen just cracks me up. You know, I just think it's funny.
I think it's
you
funny.
know,
And
I don't understand why we're offended anymore.
I think we've
you know.
got a bit too PC.
Yeah.
It's so PC that people are frightened to talk to each other.
Or laugh.
Or laugh. I mean, I'm not sure, shall I laugh? Should I
Yeah.
say that? Oh, I was brought up to say this, but I mustn't say that. I have to say that. And it's really difficult. And I think that, you know, that was, the whole thing is that I think people have the facility, and especially the British, to laugh at themselves.
Yeah.
And especially in difficult situations or whatever. And well, I must admit, Hello Hello was sending up the war, which was a bit difficult. I mean,
and really, it was in the, what was it, the late 80s it started? Was it the late 80s?
Early
I mean,
80s.
Yeah, so really,
84.
it's not that, I mean, that's a few years back now, so that wasn't that far removed. But I think it's like Dad's Army. People are ready to have it sent up. I mean, you're massive in Germany. So people love it.
Germany took it eventually.
So they got it, you know.
We sold to over 80 countries.
Yeah.
So I go like to Portugal, they go, you know, or I went to Bulgaria recently. Huge. They've shown it 25 times or something, the whole series. That's a lot.
Yeah.
And so, like, you're a big star out there still. And then Germany took it a few years, was it 5, 6 years ago, or might be more. And they always said they'll never take it. They said today, and then they did. And they love it, and they're ordering it all the time. South Africa, sort of all of those places, and New Zealand, Australia. You know, we toured over those places, and it's loved. And I think it's because it makes you laugh out loud.
Even if you've seen the episode before.
It might be a little bit not PC in certain, but what the hell?
But what is PC? You see, this is what I'm saying. When you get when you develop that character, because it was, I mean, I always feel sorry for women like you in those cases, because it's so like I remember meeting the lovely Beverly Callard who plays Liz in Corrie, and she was saying that she can't put on weight because of the pencil skirts they give her.
Right,
Do you know what I mean? She's always, whenever they film, she has to slim down, and I was thinking you were always so scantily dressed. I mean, in a very sexy way. I think you must be schoolboys' fantasies for so many years. But when you were sort of filming and you're in there, you know, you must have laughed at other people's, you know, because the whole atmosphere must have been very funny.
Well, it was. Oh, I mean, they stuck moustaches. I was dressed as I had a moustache on me more time. I said, listen, if you keep pulling this moustache off, would you pull it off? And I start growing my own. I said, I'm not going to be happy. But we did that, and I think that. But you know what? People got all the little French maids outfit because they have this imagination. But actually, it was a blouse and a skirt to the knee and a little pinny. But occasionally, we had a little bit more risque things in there. But I think it was the illusion, French. So if you talk like this, it is much more, you know. And men, you know, and men especially like the French accent. I think it became, and also you could play up that character. She could become bigger, larger than life.
I mean, it's a character that everybody knows, you know, when they just, because you hardly changed, I have to say. But, you know, when you look at that, it doesn't matter because, as you say, it's an identifiable, and I think that's what, you know, the writers were very clever with their shows. You know, when you think of Captain Mainwaring, he was just, you just knew the glasses, the hat, you know, it's him. Gloria, you know, and Windsor Davis and people like that. They really pricked at these.
Well, the singing.
Yeah.
Dame Edith, Madam Edith, that couldn't sing, you know. I mean, when they were casting that, they said to her, like, you know, Carmen, can you sing? And I know Gordon had just worked with her. Yeah. And she said, I can't hold a tune in a bucket. And he went, let's think about it. So they went away, because they were going to have a real good singer. Yeah. So they went away, thought about it, and thought, actually, that might work. So we'll have someone who thinks they can sing, but can't. Yeah. They sort of cast against type. Yeah. I mean, bless him, Gordon Kay. I mean, the most unlikely sex symbol ever.
A lovely man, but I know what you mean.
But people, and I remember my nan going to her up north, yeah, Vicki, that Gordon Kay's lovely. And I'm going, are you sure then? I mean, but it was the illusion of what happens with television. You become a sex symbol from how you're portrayed in a...
I loved it. I've always, when I was a kid, I always thought it was great that the way that they lifted the bed up. You know,
Oh, yeah.
I thought, I wouldn't mind a bed like that. You know what I mean? You could store things, and suddenly you've got all this stuff underneath, and they
the
never asked her to
flashing
leave. She's just always cramped with a pan up there, wasn't she? You think, oh God, you know.
Yeah.
So tell me now, right now you're as busy as ever. You've just recently done something with Noel Edmonds, who of course you did a lot with when he had
the house party.
Yeah, which was another fun. I mean,
it was
brilliant
fun.
show.
I loved doing the house party.
Yeah.
I was so sad they took that off because I think people loved it.
Yeah.
But anyway, they.
Well, Ant and Dec have ripped it off and called it Saturday Night
Yeah,
Takeaway.
they're the sort of new boys, but they're lovely too.
Oh,
really
yes.
lovely.
They're very clever. I think if somebody actually moulded them and gave them proper comedy scripts, they could really develop from presenting. You know what I mean?
To be a Morecambe and Wise show type thing.
Definitely, they could do a lot more. I mean, I think we understand the way commercial TV works, but you know, it is about selling products into things. But I think they're very clever. But I do remember you so much on House Party because when you look about it, it's ridiculous, wasn't it? You know.
Well, I was the only neighbour that liked him. Everyone hated him, but I fancied him.
Yeah.
So I used to throw him on the floor and leap on top, and it was always because you didn't rehearse, you just did it. And
which I always thought was fun. You could sense that it was all going to be.
You could see him,
Yeah.
and I go, just don't throw me on this one. And then he would do something completely different, and you just had to go with it.
Yeah.
I remember when they did that gotcha on me. Oh my God. And Blob, I had this beautiful blue suit, and I bought it was mine. And Mr. Blobby came on, and I was talking to Noel because we were talking about the gotcha. And I turned around and I looked, and there's Blobby with a steaming plate of curry.
Ooh.
And I've gone. And I remember it was almost like slow motion.
Yeah.
No. And he just went all over me. I went, no. Oh dear. But
that's a typical girl thing, is it? This suits me.
I love this suit. I love this suit. You're going to wear my suit.
Not bothered about the millions.
No, how could you do that to me? But he was just lovely. I got on so well with him. And so recently he's got this new teleseries come. I was really pleased he did the other show as well that was so successful.
Oh, Deal or No Deal.
Deal or No, I love that.
I did. I never understood it, but I liked it when people won. I thought it was really gripping the way that, you know.
Yeah.
I'm Robbie. I once did Countdown. They never asked me back. I couldn't work out the dictionary code. It was a shambles. You know,
I'm quite good at those things. I do. I love those things.
I kept saying to that Susie, but you know what this is. You know, it's like, I don't understand. You know,
well, I mean, she does it anyway, doesn't she?
Yeah, it's lovely.
Yeah. So with Noah, so I was so pleased with that. So then he's got this new show coming out, and I think I'm on September the 1st, and it's called Cheap, Cheap, Cheap. So it's a sort of a game show where people have to guess the prices of things.
Yeah.
So they'll be given a table and say, how much do you think this costs? And you have to choose it, and and it's quite good. And I went and worked with him, sort of as Yvette type character. Yeah. And hopefully it'd be really successful for him. But it was nice working with him. He gave me a big cuddle, and that was lovely seeing him again.
And you run your own company.
I do.
And what does that company do? Tell us about it.
Well, when Hello finished, I thought, oh my God, what if I don't work? I need another
typical
string.
actress.
Yes, I need another string to my bow. So I thought, I'd been doing a lot of PAs, so I started off a company called Trading Faces, and we provide celebrities for doing after dinner speaking, check presentations, motivational, endorsing products, whatever it is. Yeah. And so we've been, touch wood, quite successful, and so that's been going for nearly 25 years, I should think, or more now. So I started that because I just had Louise as well, and I thought I need to earn a living. Yeah. Because the profession is it's so fickle.
But again, that's quite forward thinking for you, isn't it? A lot of actresses just sit and wait. And you can't. This is what I like about you. You can't just think, well, this might happen, or something will happen. I think that's why you've had a long career, because you can see that you've darted from one to the other. Yeah. And as I said genuinely at the beginning of the chat, I just think you could sell anything. You've got, to me, I think, when you talk about this, and when they hire these people, and I get quite angry about this for girls, when they get these skinny models, and it's for, say, women over 50, you think, realistic, look at the people who are in the shop. You've got a beautiful figure, but what I mean is, the people who are buying these things do not look like Rosie Huntington. You know what I mean? Yeah. So they look like women who think, oh, it's relatable, she's glamorous, I want to look like that.
Yes, and I think that that's people miss that, I mean, but they've got Twiggy. I saw Twiggy the other day, and they've got her promoting this. But I do think there's things, and I'm thank God, Mummy looks great as well and everything, so I've got good genes. But we do take care of our skin. Yeah. We do, I do like to dress nicely and smartly and make the best of my figure, because I know what balance is with me, and I know what balance is with other people. I mean,
You should do a book about this, though.
Do you think so?
Seriously, I think, again, I think what I call real women would be interested because, we were talking in the green room about Joan Collins, and I think Joan's great for that.
She looks amazing.
She looks brilliant, and she always dresses well, and it's not always top designer stuff. She does go to Primark, and she's honest about it, And I sort of feel
Pre-marché.
Yeah. But I think that people always look for advice from people who they like and admire. And I think sometimes, when you get these books that that the person hasn't written, and they're just sticking their name to it. And you think,
no, I'd have to write it.
Yeah, you've never used
to balance you. I think, I know clothes that balance, but make you look good. I mean, I have to admit that some people are dressing people and they look worse. And I go, no. And I can see it. And I go, no, put that on. No, put that on. And you can see how these, and also makeup.
Yeah.
And my husband always says I'm a chrysalis, and then I evolve into the butterfly. I'm not sure that's flattering.
No, but it's true. You see, there's a backlash, isn't there, about women wearing, being, it seemed to be glamorous.
Oh, right, yeah.
It's this thing where, I've noticed this more and more, where you see women who don't wear lipstick on camera. They do the eyes and everything, but they don't. But why?
My mum always said, don't go out without the lipstick.
Yeah.
I have a thing. I have to get the lipstick. I have to put lipstick on. It's really, And I love the lip line. I don't care.
When you put your bins out, he's got the lipstick. 90, but full lipstick.
No, but it is. It was something that was instilled. I think my nan always said, Vicki, you must look nice when you go. And then Mummy, and Mummy would always sort of get ready to put the lipstick. And it takes 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And I think that, so I've just always done it. Yeah.
Finally, can I ask, is there a role, Vicki, that you haven't played but you'd really like to have played or still want to in the future? When you sit down and you think to yourself, I don't know, you're watching like Paul Dark and you think, I wouldn't mind being in that. I wouldn't mind being that character.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of series now. And now that you're older, as you say, when you get older, you get offered more meaty roles because you're.
That's interesting, though, because a lot of women say you don't, but I think you do actually.
Yeah, well, I can now because. Like the Hannigan, and then I played Lady Bracknell.
Yeah.
And that was a great character. That was a great. I would have liked to have, because I just did it for a couple of weeks in Brenton for their festival. But I think that those sort of roles are good. Like a strong matriarch, or there's so many things that I wanted to do Hannigan. I loved that. I just really loved that. I wouldn't mind doing a bit of Shakespeare. Maybe Lady Macbeth, she'd be a goodie. But I think I'm too old for that. What, mind you? Or Cleopatra. That was good, wasn't it?
Yeah,
but I don't know. Or a series like Downton, because a period drama. I'd love to be in a period drama, I think, now.
You see, it's interesting because you're talking about really strong character roles, and I'm thinking to myself, you'd be great in something, like an English dynasty. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? The glamour.
Actually, I was going to say I love Dynasty, and I actually just. That popped in. You must have picked that up because I just went. Actually, Dynasty would be good.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Yes. It's because I think what people want now is an escape to glamour. We loved those in the 80s because it was rich people having a nasty time.
Yeah.
And you love people failing even though they look glamorous.
Exactly.
It's like, oh, great.
Yeah. I think that's true. I think people do like glamour.
Yeah.
I don't want. I think that when people go out and they, like we used to watch. We were talking about the old films earlier before, and. They were glamorous people. Yeah. And I love that. Who wants to look like the person next door? Everyone looks the same. I think we want that back again.
Well, I like that line. I think Mae West said that, didn't she? You want the girl next door, go next door.
I want to play her.
Fabulous.
I've always thought, she has the most amazing, not the man in my life, the life in my neck. Yeah. and I think that if you develop that character, would be a great character.
Maybe you could have Marilyn and May meeting together.
What, play both?
Yeah, one side, other side, and then they come to the finale.
Yeah,
we've written a play.
That's it,
Vicki Michelle, it has been absolutely delightful. Come back and see us soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.